What's going on, the Wellthy fam? Gilman here, back with another Palantir update video where we take a look at how Palantir stock traded today, any major news we got with Palantir, key levels of support and resistance, and where we think the stock is going to go. If you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below. It really helps me out as I'm trying to grow the channel. Comment your plays on Palantir, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there as well. Let me hit record. We will get right into it. You guys saw me talk about Palantir yesterday, and we were considering, hey, is the pullback done? And the price action today was kind of on the yes side of that. So let's take a deeper look at that. But before we do, we got to take a look at the news, right? So Palantir and BP deepen partnership, accelerate energy transition. So they've extended their partnership to support BP as it works to become a net zero company by 2015 or sooner. They will provide their software to BP at the enterprise level with global deployment across the organization in a multi-year, multi-million-dollar deal. The partnership has yielded concrete results in operations management, asset allocation, strategic planning, and procurement. And they're also going to do some of their risk monitoring efforts. So another day, another deal for Palantir, right? Great news for the company, another multi-million-dollar deal, right? That's kind of what we're expecting out of a company like Palantir as they show off their products, as they get more clients. Hopefully we see a snowball effect, right? People see, hey, this company's using them, they really like it, let's use them as well. And I think we're starting to see a little bit of that. So let's take a look now at how the stock is trading, and we will see what we have coming up. So yesterday we ended the day in the 31s. Pre-market, right out of the gate, we pushed towards, I don't know what this line is. I don't know why we have two lines. I'm gonna get rid of one. Yeah. So we pushed towards this 32.80s level, rejected, came right back down 31.75, and then tried again, right? Wanted that level really badly, rejected. Third time's the charm sometimes, right? I say knock, knock, okay, knock, knock, and third time you just go boom, break right through it. So that's what we saw today. And then we came right back down to that level, right? And that's something that you guys will see. Now, I want to cover this really quickly, right? We have these levels. They act as support if you're going down, right? Support, bounce, up, resistance, go, rejected, come right back down. But what you really want to make sure is not only can we break levels, but can we break and then maintain? So the fact that we went down here and tested that, I really like, because hey, if we are going up and we don't necessarily test this level, then that gives me less conviction that we are going to the next level than this right here, where we stop, we bounce, we go, no, I think we're good here. Let's use this as a level of support. And then we push up to the next level. Now take a look here, guys. This 34.20 I've had on my charts. I did not put this level today, and that's exactly where we get rejected, right? So perfectly to the ascent, which doesn't happen a lot, right? Not saying I get it every time. A lot of times we're off by like 10 cents, right? Here we have a perfect bounce, and then again, we take a little bit of a breather. We're going down to VWAP, come right back up, rejected. Again, pretty much 34.18, 2 cents off. Go right back down, you guessed it, VWAP, push up. This time, right, we were able to break through, make a high of 34.79, come right back down to this level, bounce, go up, couldn't go as high as here, bounce, and then we start to push up again, right, to the 35s. And then as we see, both on a Friday as well as on a day when we were up like 8 or 9% on the day, we see a little bit of sell-off. So sell-off, bounce, more sell-off, try to break VWAP, couldn't, come down, and then ended the day right at VWAP. Things I liked about today, it's a 6.25% day, right? It's hard not to like that. We also closed at VWAP, which is something that I liked. I mean, considering that we were so above VWAP, the fact that we were below it and then closed isn't the best news, but hey, we still closed right at VWAP, so that was good news. Things I didn't like, obviously, was this Friday fade, this profit taking, but hey, I think that that's healthy. That's a part of how a stock should trade, so I'm not too worried about that. Now, let's take a look at, what we see with the daily chart here. So you guys know we were looking at this breakout happening with the bull pennant forming. If you've been with me for a little while, we caught that. We went from 25s to 35s, going all the way to 45s after a couple days. Yesterday's video, I talked about, we see this rounding out happening right here where we were coming down, 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 and then now we are starting to hopefully head right back up, right? And that's what I talked about yesterday. We got a lot of confirmation today, which is great news. Now, one thing that I want to say is if you guys are looking to play reversals, always wait for the confirmation, right? Look, Palantir was at 40 bucks. Okay, it dropped from 40 to 33 in a day. The next day it was at, opened at in the 36, went to 35, right? Red day. Then opened at 35, went to 33, red day. Opened at 34, went to 31, red day. You could have hopped in at 33, right? Thinking, it was just at 40 yesterday, so 33 must be a good deal. But you would have kept falling for the next couple of days, especially if you pick up an options contract, right? You're losing a lot of theta value if you have a closed-termed options contract. So it's always good to kind of come up with a little bit of a thesis, right? Hey, I think it bounces at 30. I think it's going to, maybe go down for a couple more days. It's going to go down until this event. And then when you see the rounding out as we see here, maybe you add a couple shares, maybe you add an options position. And then in a day like today when it's green, that's when you understand that reversal has maybe started. Again, not necessarily guaranteeing anything, right? We could start going right back down. But I'm just saying, wait for the reversal always before you start to build a position, just to be, on the safe side. I like to play it safe. I've been told that, maybe I'm a little too conservative, but hey, I like to look for good setups and kind of go in when I see them. So we got this happening right here. As you guys saw, we briefly broke above this 34 kind of 20s level, right? We were hitting up against it a couple times at the beginning of the day, then we broke into it. So going into next week, my goal is for us to keep pushing upwards, right? We got earnings coming in, not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday following. So hoping for a little bit of run into earnings next week. Maybe we make a push towards, if we can clear 36s, maybe we go between the 36 and the 40s sometime next week. That's my goal if we see this momentum continue. So I'm looking for a break of this 34.20s level and then pushing towards 36s, and then once we can get that, hopefully making a push towards 40. I don't know if it'll break 40, to be 100% honest with you guys. Maybe we do, maybe we don't, but I definitely think we have run room to between the 36 and the 40s if we can keep this momentum continuing, if we see that run into earnings. Now, let me cover the other side and then I'll kind of cover after that point. So let's take a look at the downside, right? We've got this support in the high 32s. That's our first level of support, which is also where the 8 EMA is. So the 32.96 should hold up. 32.80s, 32.90s should hold up as good support. If that doesn't hold, we've got the 21 EMA coming in right at $30.96, second level of support. And then if we can, our kind of last level before we break 30s is the 30.30 mark. And then if we break 30, we could go down to the mid 29s again. So couple levels of support there, 8 EMA 32.96, 30.96 with the 21 EMA exactly $2 lower. Then we got the 30.30s, and then if we break 30, we've got one in the mid 29s. So I've been talking about this run into earnings that I'm hoping for and kind of anticipating. I'm holding my Palantir leaps. I'm holding my shares. I'm not in any other options positions currently. What do I think is going to happen? Some of you guys have mentioned kind of the lockup expiration happening in mid-February, and my plan is if everything goes the way I think it will, okay, which again, I'm just another investor. If you go to 10 different channels, they'll tell you 10 different things. But here's my opinion. I think we run into earnings next week. Since earnings is our on 216, which is kind of around the mid-February lockup expiration period, I do think we see a little bit of sell the news. Look, unless Palantir comes out and says something that we don't already know or issues like crazy guidance, we could see a little bit of sell the news, all contingent that we run up next week. So if we run up next week, the following week with the lockup expirations and the earnings, we could see a little bit of a dip. I don't think the stock's going to crash. But I think we do see a dip, again, contingent on seeing a run next week. So if we can run between the 36 and the 40s next week, definitely think that we see a little bit of a pullback, maybe getting ready for that next leg up once we see the next catalyst. So that's kind of my opinion. Again, we'll see how it plays out. Palantir has been good to me recently, with this, especially with this breakout. I know a lot of us were able to capture that and had a couple leaps that I was able to get rid of. Wasn't planning on it, right? Because leaps are options going out to like 2022, 2023. But the kind of returns that Palantir was able to give, you know, in such a short amount of time, you know, you got to take them. You got to lock some in. And really glad I did, because as we saw, you know, it went right back down to 30 after the 45 push. So holding on to some of my leaps, holding on to some shares, hoping for a push up next week. Hope you guys all had an amazing week and have an even better upcoming weekend. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And until next time.